Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to be doing the Eikthyr boss informational guide for Valheim. So I've been really enjoying Valheim on and off streams. I did stream it for a while. It's kind of been a game that I've mainly been playing with friends over on Twitch for a bit and then by myself. So yeah. So then I'm going to do the informational guide on how to beat Eikthyr because I wanted to do one for each boss. So Eikthyr, the Elder, Bone Mass. I don't know the dragon's name, and then Yaglalith, which is the last boss. So I'm going to start with Eikthyr today. So it's going to be a quick guide. I'm going to go through everything you need to defeat him, all the requirements, world requirements, locations to summon him, items, and food and all that. So to start, you're going to want to actually summon him, you're going to want to have 2 deer trophies. Now we'll get to how to get the deer trophies later. You basically just kill deers, but there's an easier way to do it later on in the stream. Or not later on stream, in the video. What am I thinking? So basically, this video is going to be going from when you start up your game for the first time, when you start up your world, to Eikthyr. So everything that I say in this video, you can do starting from when you create your world, brand new, fresh world. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 different trophies. You're going to need to bring them to the boss summon stone. It can be found if you go to the Eikthyr. If you go to the standing stones that you spawn in, the Valkyrie or the Raven or whatever drops you off there when you start your world on a new character. But you should see stones. Each stone has an inscription, I think, and an image of the boss carved into the stone. And beside the first one, beside the kind of deer one, there should be the Eikthyr stone, which is a stone that'll actually, if you interact with it, it will give you the summon location for Eikthyr. So that's the location that you'll have to bring the 2 deer heads after you have all the items and you're ready to fight him. So once you've got that, so weapons. So the weapons you can get pretty much straight away. So first of all, you're going to want to get the club. Club can be gotten using 6 pieces or 8 pieces of wood, so you can go around, pick up some branches, or you can punch some of the smaller kind of shrub trees to get some wood to make yourself a club. That'll be really, really handy to kill a bunch of the mobs in the area to get the stuff. Next, you're going to need the bow. You're going to probably need the club to get the bow, because the bow you're going to need to get 8 leather scraps, and I think 10 pieces of wood maybe, or 8 pieces of wood, I'm not sure. It's just gameplay in the background. I can't remember what the recipes were. This is recorded after, you see. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to kill some of the boars in the area. So just look around for some boars, and they have a chance to drop between 1 and 2 leather scraps, and then an extra leather scrap for each star they have underneath their name, going up to 2 stars. So yeah, you're going to need 8 leather scraps. Now it's probably a good time to actually build a little shack for yourself, placing a crafting bench and all that. I won't be covering that in this guide. It's pretty simple. You open up your inventory, or you craft a hammer to build stuff. You're going to need to craft all this at a workbench with a roof over it. I would also recommend setting your spawn point. You're going to need to place down a bed with a roof over it, and you're going to have a campfire nearby. I'll explain how to place down a campfire and cook stuff on it later in the video. So next you're going to need leather armor. Leather armor is a bit harder to get, simply because you're going to need the bow to get leather armor. Well, you can do it with the club, but it's going to be harder. Basically, to get leather armor, you're going to need to get deer hide. To kill the deers, if you get too close to them, you're not crouched or you're not sneaky enough, they will run away. You will need a bow to hit them at range, so you don't have to sneak right up within punching distance. So the bow is going to be really, really handy here. You're going to want to crouch and then slowly sneak up on them. You want to be going, I think, you don't want to be going against the wind. Or you do want to be going against the wind. You don't want the wind behind you, as they will pick up your scent if the wind is behind you and you're going towards them that way. That's a quick tip I remember another YouTube video, but sure. Yeah, basically, once you've got deer hide, you'll want to kind of sneak up to them and hit them from a range. They will run away if you get too close, and mind your stamina. If you get too close and your stamina goes to 0 while you're aiming down with the bow, you will uncrouch and they will see you. Well, chances are they will. They mightn't, but they will, more than likely. So what you're going to want to do is, once you've got the leather or the deer hide, you're going to want to bring it back to the crafting bench. You're going to need 16 in total. You might as well get the deer trophies while you're there. So if you get 16 deer hide and you haven't got 2 trophies, I would keep on hunting until you get them 2 deer trophies. You should get about 2 deer trophies with if you've gotten 16 deer hide, you should have two trophies. But if you don't, you can go out and get some more. So yeah, you've got that part down. You're just going to need to get food and arrows sorted out now. So we're going to be using the bow, so obviously we need ammunition for the bow. So we'll cover the arrows first. So there's 3 different types of arrows you can use for this. You could use wooden arrows, flint arrows, or flame arrows. Wooden arrows are just, to make a stack of wooden arrows, you're going to just need, to make a stack and 20 wooden arrows, you need a stack of wood. So a stack of wood will give you a stack and 20 wooden arrows, so 120 wooden arrows. That's well enough for the fight. If you want more, or if you haven't really got the aim down for this game, you're going to need to aim higher than the mob to actually hit it, because there's a lot of arrow drop in this game. But if you've got it down, you should be good on 120 arrows. If not, you can always get some more arrows. If you need it, you'll have them after anyway, so it'll be handy after when you're venturing into the Black Forest after Eikthyr. Anyway, if you have the time, you can go kill some greylings. They will drop resin, and you can get flame arrows if you want. So flame arrows, you're going to need, it's still a stack of wood for 120 arrows, but you're going to need some feathers and you're going to need some resin. I think it's 8 resin and 4 feathers. And 8 resin, 4 feathers, and 8 wood will give you 20 arrows, or 20 flame arrows. So it's kind of expensive. If you want to, greylings around everywhere. If you've got the time to do it, it's a massive buff, but it's not necessary. You will defeat him just fine. If you're having trouble on him, you might want to get some of them, or the next type of arrows that I'm going to explain, flint-head arrows. Flint-head arrows are wooden arrows with just a slightly increased damage. They don't give the mob any debuff like the fire does. But anyway, yeah, they cost the same, 8 wood, 4 feathers, and instead I think it is 8 flint instead of 8 resin. 8 flint instead of 8 resin, I think that's right. So yeah, you can grab them. Any of them arrows will do. The flint head arrows are just a better version. Think of them as a better version for the wooden arrows. And then next you're going to need food, and the last thing you're actually going to need is food. So food, you're going to want to probably get cooked meat, cooked necktails, and some raspberries. Cooked meat can be found if you kill boars and deers. They will drop it, so you probably got a ton of meat anyway from killing boars and deers earlier. And you'll get necktails off killing the necks. They're usually around the coast. They're pretty easy to kill. They might only have like 15-20 HP. They're really, really not hard. Few hits with a club and 1 shot with an arrow. Generally, that should get rid of them. It's not 100% chance to drop the necktails. I don't know why. It's like a 50% chance. You should be fine. You only need really 2 cooked meat and 2 necktails, because the saturation that they give you will last quite a while. And raspberries you can find scattered around the place. You'll find them in berry bushes. It depends. I would recommend marking the berry bushes for future, because you're going to need them for mead and potions later on down the game if you plan on playing the game for quite a long time. I would recommend marking them, but when you find them, pick it up. You're only going to need around two of each food type, just in case the fight goes on longer than it should. For whatever reason, I don't know, fighting conditions, whatever conditions you're fighting them in, or if you're fighting with lower gear than what's listed here. But generally with 1 of each you should be fine, but I'm going with 2 of each just to be safe. So to cook the meat and cook the necktails, you're going to want to place it on a campfire. If it is not raining and it's not windy outside, you should be fine. You can just place it on the campfire, and you can go to your hammer, place it on the campfire that way, and then get a spit and put the food on the spit. It'll take about 15 seconds to cook, I think, or maybe 20 for each. Not too long. You can place 2 things can be on the spit at one time, so 2 meat, 2 necktails, about 2 minutes, or about a minute or so. But by the time you get the stuff placed down and the campfire and stuff placed down, about 2 minutes to cook them. If it is raining or windy, don't worry, there's a solution. You can build like this overhang. So you can build this chimney. It has a slanted kind of roof that'll funnel all the smoke out, but won't let any rain in. So you won't die of smoke inhalation, and the campfire won't go out. This is what most people do when it comes to chimneys, and it's a really, really simple way to get rid of rain and stop your campfire from constantly going out. I wouldn't place your campfire too close to the ocean, and your house too close to the ocean, as if it's choppy, and the waves are choppy and the waves get quite high, if the waves do come up, they will put out the campfire for a few seconds, and it can just be really, really annoying. They can turn out all your other lights and all. So you generally, for your first base, you want it kind of further in. The coast is a great way to like get ships and all in and stuff later on in the game, but you're not really going to be doing that right now. So yeah, so once you've got that, you can build a little overhang thing. You will die of smoke inhalation if you don't put a roof on the campfire and it's inside, because the smoke has nowhere to go, and it is a debuff that does like like a 2 tick of damage each time. So it's not something you want to get stuck in, especially when you're low level and you don't have a whole lot of gear. So yeah, once you've got all that, you can actually head to the sacrificial stone, and it'll be marked on your map from earlier by the Eikthyr thing. I think that's how I say it. I'm not sure. I think that's how you say it. And then you want to go there and you want to put your 2 deer heads in your hotbar, go up to the sacrificial stone, and press the corresponding key that it's in your hotbar, basically. Or I think you might just be able to press E and it might automatically go, I'm not sure. That will start the particle effects and all, and Eikthyr should spawn. You will notice that for me, Eikthyr spawned in the tree. That doesn't usually happen. The game is in early access, so things can happen like that. That's never happened to me before. It just happened when I was recording it. I thought it was quite funny. Now, one thing I did when I was recording is I forgot to pop my buffs. And when I mean by pop my buffs, I mean like eat the food. I forgot to do it. So don't do what I did and make sure to pop your food. I was fine, but I know his moves and all and everything, so I don't know if anyone else would get so lucky. But really, he's not a hard boss. So moving on to his moves, he has 3 moves. His regular move is he rears up and he kind of hits you with his hooves. That's why you want your bow, because you don't want to get too close, because you will be in range if you're within hitting range with the club. You don't want to do that. Generally, he will do a lot of damage to you and you won't survive too long if you keep going in. That's why you need the bow. Always stay a good bit away from him. Always stay within shooting range with the bow as well. If he rears up and it's a much longer attack, you want to run horizontally, left or right. I found this was the best way to get rid of his move out of his attacks. He has 2 attacks, and that's the build up that he's doing when he rears up. He could be just going in for a melee hit, but if you're far away and he rears up like that, chances are it's his. You'll know the difference. Chances are it's his big attack that he's about to do. He has 2 big attacks. So the first one is like a frontal cone that kind of spreads outwards. It's electricity, and that'll do a lot of damage. You don't want to get stuck in it. There's one clip of me actually getting stuck in it. And then there's another one where he'll do a complete like radius sphere around him. You don't want to get stuck in it. Now it's kind of hard to determine which one he's about to do. That's why I said to run horizontal. If you're standing in front of him, run horizontal left or right. If you do this, you won't get trapped by either of them. You won't get hit by either of them. You'll be out of his frontal cone. You'll also be out of his radius. So yeah, do that. If he goes to do his build up, you should be fine. Other than that, just keep shooting the arrows. You should bring him down eventually. Once you've got the trophy for killing him, which should drop, a bit longer. You have to wait for his body to decay, and you have to wait like 10 seconds for his body to decay, and then you can pick up his trophy. You can head to the standing stones that you spawned at. You can place his trophy on the stones. Yugen should be there to greet you and give you a little kind of like informational thing on how to do it and what it does. Basically, when you place down their trophy, you gain ability from that boss. Eikthyr is the first boss, so you get the ability that gives you increased stamina for 5 minutes. It's probably one of the best abilities. It can be used really later on down the line, and it's just brilliant. It's one of the best ones. It reduces your stamina usage basically, so you can sprint for ridiculously long with like food and everything. So yeah, that's the informational guide on Eikthyr. I want to do one on the Elder Bone Mass, Ice Dragon boss we'll call him for now, and Eikthyr. Obviously this took a while to make, so I really appreciate you dropping a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be streaming over on Twitch. I stream over on Twitch quite regularly. I think every 2 days or so. Over on twitch.tv/deadlyarachnid Twitch. And thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.